The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host, guests, and callers who are responsible for their content and do not reflect the opinions of In Touch Radio or its staff.
Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. Welcome to another Saturday. We got just a few more weeks in the month of December. We got just a few more weeks in the year of 2023. We got Walter Dunn in the house. We're going to bring it along with myself, Dr. Michelle Williams, and our engineer, Bezo, on the engineer board, running and holding down the fort for DJ CEO in Tampa Bay, Tammy, the owners and founder of In Touch News and Radio. And we want to welcome you all. The call-in number for today's show is area code 813-444-9588. Walt, I know we freestyling today, but one of the topics that, I kind of like put it out there last night on Facebook, they like when we just want to hit some home runs with this housing issue and the rent. The rent too damn high issue. That's what we need to talk about. The rent too damn high issue. That's what we need to talk about, Walt, this morning.
Well, first of all, we do have some city council friends that, have graced us with their presence here at the show, but we got to target something about this housing in 2024. You working for this job and they're not paying you enough. By the time that you pay your house, your electric, and your water, you trying to figure out what you going to get in the grocery store. You drop another $200 at the grocery store, you broke. And, we got to really do something about this type of crisis. Maybe our city council can look into maybe getting some type of reduction or put the pressure on our community to reduce the prices. But I understand Tampa is growing. We're grateful to have it growing. We're grateful to have the people in our city because they want to come because we have the number one city here in the nation. But let's remember, gas is $3 right now. When I went to Philly, gas was $4.99.
What?
When I went to Philadelphia, y'all look at my Facebook. Gas was $4.99. I called an Uber and listen, it's so crazy, but I don't mean to get off topic, but I called an Uber for $6. I called an Uber for $6 to go where I was going from the hotel to see Rocky, and we passed by a gas station. It was $4.99. I said, "Thank you, Jesus."
For the Uber man.
Thank you, Jesus, for the Uber man. I'm trying to tell you, you need to get on them bikes and just, pedal some people.
Them electric bikes. Yeah, they. I'm telling you, it's amazing how the tides are really turning. How people that you never thought would be riding a bicycle are riding bikes now.
Yeah.
I bought me a trike off Facebook Marketplace for $75. Little old white lady was selling her 3-wheel bicycle, got a basket and everything in the back of it. I'm just like,
They see me rolling. But you know what? I want to say this too. Also, we definitely got to give Michelle a lot of credit. She don't get, her flowers. Every month she consistent with doing something with the homeless population. So when we talk about housing, she reached down in that population of people who don't have, who she gives back to, feeds, clothes, hygiene, and she don't get enough credit. I need to figure out how I could drop an email, or do I need to go in front of city council on Thursday and ask, how do y'all give not the employee of the year, employee of the month, how do y'all get a citizen of the month award? Because when the last time I went to city council, y'all, they gave the lady who was law enforcement, they gave her employee of the Bucks, the city council, and somebody else gave her a football free tickets, gift cards, and all that because she was a law enforcement that prevented a carjacking and caught the suspect. Now, great. Now, listen, I put nothing past you. You got the means to do it. You the law. Mm-hmm. But what about the normal citizens who's going into communities that's helping the common folk who ain't surviving properly, can't feed themselves, can't wash, got to go into the public bathrooms to take a shower, a sink shower. Right. Those are the unsung heroes that we need to have highlighted, such as Michelle. She don't get enough credit. If there's anything that we can do, not only can we throw some money her way, if you guys paying attention, but also, we need to make sure that we create some noise around that to bring some awareness for what she do in our community, because it don't get noticed enough.
Well, Walter, thank you so much for that, and I really do appreciate that. And I'm just over here on my little Google network. You know how we do on our news break. app. So this is the thing. This is a new law that's getting ready to be put on the books, Walter. And I'm hoping that you can join me in Tallahassee next month to go and speak in front of the Florida legislator because they, they start from January to March. And so I'm going to be hitting Tallahassee, these, what I'm saying, within through January through March, those 90 days that, our state Senate and House of Representatives, that they're in session, because it's going to be most important, because there are a lot of new laws that are being put on the books for tenants, to protect tenants now. Before, it was all about the landlords. And the thing about it is, well, these landlords have gotten away with so much foolishness. Now, something that we have been working on, and I'm happy to see, Representative Hart, Senator Dale Rousson, Michelle K. Rayner, Miss Driscoll, they're all leading the forefront now. If a landlord, even if they accept $50 from you, that's a partial rent payment. And so now you got to give the tenant time to pay the rest of the money. You can't just go down and start an eviction now. I'm most concerned, Walter, because a lot of these landlords are becoming rooming homes. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Where the rent, they set a median rent. Say if the landlord wants $3,000, okay, and you got 4 rooms, divided that, between those 4 rooms to include the lights and the water, so you can get your money. So, if you got to go in paying a stack every month, but that's guaranteed that your rent ain't gonna go up or down. It's like at a level. But what is becoming disingenuous with the people who have these rooming houses now, they're not fixing up the rooming homes.
They're just providing a room.
That's it. It's just too much going on that has been, the judges have protected the landlords. And Walter, I'm opening up my mouth now. And, I've had a couple people reach out to me because, matter of fact, it was a couple reporters reached out to me because a lady kept reporting my Facebook post when I said that there was another stimulus check coming, a 4th stimulus check coming. But see, they've been keeping it quiet because Florida has been leading #1 with the most cases of fraud against the IRS with the stimulus. So this lady kept trying to debunk what I was doing. So a news reporter hit me up and says, "Oh my God, that article that you put up, it is the truth. We thought it was a satire, article, but it's the truth. There is another stimulus out there. But if you don't go on the IRS website and apply for it, So, I went backwards and forth with the lady because I had time that day. And I said, well, maybe if you weren't scheming to defraud the IRS, you wouldn't be, you wouldn't be trying to debunk a truthful article because you're trying to figure out, you don't know the formula for you to go in and get that. So now you mad because I'm out here posting it for the real people who get up and go to work every day. So now you're angry with me because you can't figure out a formula on how to defraud the government. I told her that's a you problem, but bothering with me, it ain't gonna never end well. Next thing I know, somebody went on the lady page, the page was deactivated. So I'm just like,
playing around with God's children.
I'm trying to told you can't be, but we have a issue here. And I really want to see what a lot of these organizations are going to do. I mean, we just witnessed a very, very milestone where the city of Tampa kept in their budget all those millions of dollars to help and aid rental assistance and low income housing. But I don't want big organizations or big churches like the Catholic Charities and Florida Rising. I don't want all those big organizations to get the money where it stays at the top and you only trickle it down just a little bit. Let me tell you what's disingenuous. And I actually got a lawyer, Walter. You know how we go out and we feed on 50th Street. So there was an organization that was out there, and all these homeless people walked. They lined up. Some of them sitting on their little walkers. Some of them sitting in chairs. Some of them sitting on the ground. And the people just going by, getting their full name, date of birth, social security number, and taking a picture of them. And I say, excuse me, what are y'all doing with this information? Oh, we're going to get them in Tent City. For real, Tent City is full. There's there's literally a 3-year waiting list for Tent City. What do you mean you finna get them in tent? See, Walter, they being disingenuous. They coming out collecting all these people vital information
and
running it to use it for the government for them to be able to get more aid.
Yeah, funding.
That's not fair. That's not fair. And there's not enough people like me and you out there on the streets to say, you know what, hands off the homeless.
But you think about, some of these families that have been, taken away from where they grew up at, and dispersed all over the city because they wanted to build high rises in these areas, or they wanted to build up West Tampa, or they wanted to. Now, I was told by law enforcement, a good friend that's in law enforcement, that they have knocked down all the projects in Tampa except for, I want to say it was
Robles Park,
mm-hmm. And that's coming too.
Yeah, because they already done started transitioning them out.
So our low community housing and all our projects that people were unable to rise up, or whatever their situation was, all the projects in Tampa are gone now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If that ain't no red flag that we had these communities where we knew these were the people that were low home income, couldn't afford housing, government assistant people. Now there's none of them in Tampa.
Well, let me tell you.
Where are those people going, though?
And a lot of them are not getting Section 8.
Where are those people going? When you break down those projects, where are those families going?
A lot of them don't have Section 8, and they're not getting Section 8. And it's not the responsibility of the housing authority to get them housing. That's the saddest thing about it is. And now with even a Section 8 voucher, being that Governor Ron DeSantis has it on the books in the state of Florida, if you go to get if you have a Section 8 voucher and say you own a home, and I come with my voucher and I say, hey, Mr. Dunn, I got this Section 8 voucher. It's a program. You can sign your house up for it and yada, yada, woo. You can discriminate against me now and say no. So he made it that way. So now, even with a Section 8 voucher, a person who owns a private home does not have to rent to you. And it's not even considered housing discrimination. This is what we're facing. This is exactly what we are facing in the state of Florida. But you see how he's backpedaling now on that gun law.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's backpedaling on that gun law now.
And speaking of the gun law too, we just had the first hearing of the Ybor City shooting kid. He was brought to court. He pled. He's currently in custody. He's going to fight his case about. He said that he felt threatened, and that's the reason why he started to fire shots. I can't say this enough. Shout out to Freddie Burton, who runs Safe and Sound, and all the people who help out with that, who try to, attack gun laws and gun things for our children, our community. But we got to do better as a community in 24. We can't be making worldwide news for mass shootings.
And that's exactly what Ybor City did.
Ybor City, just so you guys know, made the news, the worldly news for mass shooting because people were shot, and innocent bystanders were hit. In Tampa. That's not what Tampa needs to be recognized for. We need to be recognized for excellence, hardworking people, the small minority groups, and the business owners that have blossomed in Tampa, and not for violence or for gun violence. That's not what we need to be doing. And all the people who work with children and try to promote, we need more of that. We need more people out there telling kids in high schools and colleges about the importance of guns, because children don't understand, Michelle. I'm the legal guru for our family.
Mm-hmm.
You pull a gun on somebody and it's not licensed to you. That's 10 years, mandatory. That the judge, the system is built now for mandatory minimum laws. Meaning, if you do something and you qualify for a minimum mandatory law, the judge has to give it to you. There is no discretion. You pull a firearm on somebody and you don't have it registered, that's 10 years. You fire that firearm, that's 20 years. You hit somebody, that's 25 to life. And they can give you any number above 25 that the judge feels, but they got to give you a minimum of 25 years. Children don't know that. So they hear all these social media stories and the people who looking cool and they rapping about these guns, but they not telling you that your child go out there and pull a firearm, he going to prison for 10 years. You will not see that baby walk free for at least 10 years just pulling it.
Right.
So that 14-year-old is going to go in the system, and he'll be 24 when he gets out.
Well, remember me and you said that we wanted to start, and we were almost literally begging almost for funding to go on a 10-20 life campaign, and I hate to bring him up, but one thing I would say that when Ober was in office, he made sure that these young people that they knew 1020 life, because Mark Ober had it on every billboard across the city and the county. And he was just like, okay, idiots, if you pull a gun, 1020 life. This is going to happen to you. This is going to happen. You know, and it's funny about that Ybor City, because, you know, I'm not even sure that the young man could even use the stand your ground, because he can't use stand your ground because it has to be equal weapon. So the other guy hadn't even pulled a pistol.
Not necessarily. The stand your ground means is that a person felt threatened, and that's the big clause of that stand your ground case law. That a person has to be in fear, in imminent fear of their life being harmed, danger, or, you know, violence taken against him. So he can use that for defense, but, you know, it goes into what were you really out there for? You know, and now you see the city council has now passed the law the curfew for all children. If you 16 years old or younger, there's a curfew now Monday through Friday, and then it's a curfew on Saturdays, you know, for you to be home. And guess what? And I agree. I agree. You know, do I want my 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 14-year-old, anything 16 or younger in the streets at past 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? There's nothing that they going to find but trouble out there. Ooh. So the city council, I give you big praise because y'all finally came together. Right. The vote was 5-2. They voted on it, and they passed the bill that they're going to enforce that. If they see your child out there at night, they're going to arrest them and take them into custody, and then the mama going to have to come get them. Your child should not be out there at night. You see what happened. I want my child to be able to grow and prosper, and then at night you walk around Ybor City because you, the parent that want to be cool, might not come home. That's a reality right now. That's a reality. So I agree with city council for making that move.
I do wholeheartedly, and people have to understand they're not going to be so forgiving with these juvenile citations.
No.
They're not going to be forgiven. They're not going to be so forgiving with these juvenile. You know, they used to give you a citation. Okay, let me give you a warning. You know, here go this little ticket.
They're going to book you.
Yeah, you're going to get booked in the DJJ now. You're going to get your little mug shot. It's sad, but it's a reality and it's funny.
But you know, when we were growing up, and for all our social media fans and our followers, when we were growing up, we had teen night. We wanted to go to the club. We wanted to go to the skating rink. We wanted to hang out. Some of y'all couldn't dance. Y'all had 2 left feet, but y'all still went. We understand all of that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that these days. And we don't feel so welcoming to let children have those type of things because society has just changed.
It has. You
know, my mama used to give me $4 and tell me make the best of it.
And make it. You better stretch it.
Listen, you take these $4, but don't ask me for nothing else. And go on and have a good time. And I pick you up when I get there. And that's just how it was. Nowadays, you know, kids acting growner than a parent.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I disagree with this. You know, parents. You know, there is certain lines that you should not cross as a parent, and you should not let your kids cross that line as a parent. We used to have in my household when my children were growing up, every Wednesday of the week, and my children, you know, I can call them right now on the phone. They'll tell you Wednesdays was the most best days in my household because Wednesdays I wasn't mama. I was the listening ear friend. Okay. And they can confess and talk to me about things that they wanted to see me improve at, things that they thought I was being too harsh at. And when Thursday morning came, I was mama. And I didn't hold nothing against them. But see, I created an avenue for my kids to talk to me about every and anything. I didn't go around telling my kids, oh, don't go have sex. No, have sex. But this is how you protect yourself when you have sex. Sex is a fundamental thing of life. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fundamental thing of being a teenager. You know, so, but if you're going to do this, this is how you're going to keep yourself free of contracting HIV, AIDS, gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomonas, you know, syphilis, herpes, you know what I'm saying? All these things. And, you know, see, back in the days, you used to go and get a shot. Boom! In your left shoulder, you were fine and you were back up and running. And you know what I'm saying? In 7 to 10 days. Now you're being put down. Now you're being put. Oh no, I used to work at Lee Davis, so I know. Okay. You know, I done gave some shots out of the day.
You want me to be truthful? I think parents just done got soft these days. That's just what it is.
Everybody trying to be friends with their children.
Listen, my mama, and I know she listening. My mama was hands on. You get out of line, you getting popped quick. You know, you gonna get popped. Then we're gonna discuss what happened. You know what I'm saying? You see them children. They got the battered syndrome and they got to raise their hand. I was that child. I was that child, man. My mama used to just pop off, and then then she trying to explain to you, boy, you done act up, you cut up right here. Now you're embarrassing me. Parents done just got soft these days. They got to text their child, get off the phone, or they got to text their child, come out the room. Or they got to text their child, be nice. Man, for real? Come on, man. Come on, wasn't going down like that back then. Oh, you get popped, and then or your mama give you that look. You know that look. Gonna be trouble.
Yeah.
But I just think I think the city council hit a perfect thing when they issued the ordinance for the children to be off the streets. So parents, if you don't know, this is good information for you. There's a citywide ordinance that they have put out. They have agreed. The bill was passed 5-2 on the vote. That if your child is caught in the street Monday through Friday after, I want to say it's 10 o'clock, and on Saturdays it's 11. If they get caught after those times, they will be arrested and taken into custody, and you have to come and pick them up, and they'll probably get some type of citation or a court appearance with that arrest. So please, if you didn't know, now you know, you've been informed. Please tell your children. These are new rules right here in Hillsborough County. So you get caught at the stove trying to go get gas. The age limit is 16 and under. That's a fact. You could go on the citycouncil.org website. You can definitely find out if your child is at the gas station getting gas after 10 o'clock Monday through Friday and after 11 on Saturday, they will be arrested. The police has the ability to stop them and take them into custody just because they out.
And that's, and again, they're not going to be so forgiving. They're not going to be so forgiving with a slap on the wrist with the civil citation. So people need to understand that. Mm-hmm. People need to understand that you have children who are in high school who could be a good child and just at the wrong place at the wrong time, which happens a lot. A lot of children are at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you get now you caught up. Now you caught up.
Let me ask you this as well. Are we informed of any of the political races that are coming up in 2024?
I mean, I've been getting into them.
Okay,
I've been getting into them.
There's some judges seats. I seen some other seats come available, or there's some other campaigns going to start running for 2024. So if I can say this before we go to break, please start doing your homework on who you would like to vote for. Start watching them now and see if they're doing something in the community. Start see if they're making noise, or you can call their office and ask them for help, because there are a lot of seats that are coming available next year in 2024. So there are going to be a lot of political races. There's going to be some seats opening, and I want the best people in those seats to make the best decisions.
Well, we need to reach out to them, and that's what we'll do. In the meantime, in between time, guys, we'll be right back. We're going to take a brief commercial break.
Tell a friend to listen in. It's In Touch Radio, reality radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown 1-800-361 Rick. That's 1-800-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 1-800-361 Rick. Call Ricky, ask Ricky, is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361 Rick. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
When you've been injured, you deserve help from an attorney that knows how to handle your injury claim. This is Attorney Clinton Paris from the Law Office of Clinton Paris. For over a decade, I worked for insurance companies, and now I use that knowledge and experience to help people that have been injured. For a free consultation, call me, Attorney Clinton Paris, at 813-413-7924. That's 813-413-7924, or at parislawoffice.com. At the Law Office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt. Offices, Riverview.
We're playing your favorite old school. Smooth touch of jazz. You're listening
Welcome back, our Tampa Bay, our beautiful community, and all our fans and followers from all over the state and out of the state where you're at. I want to let you guys know real quick, if you want to give us a call in to weigh in on any of the topics, you can give us a call, 813-444-9588. I came today to the studio in a V-neck t-shirt, and you know why? It's because it's still hot outside. It is still hot outside.
Yeah.
You know, usually I like wearing my shirt and tie and doing my professional thing because, you know, we have the guests on and everything. And sure enough, when we do have guests, I'll definitely be to the T. But, man, it's 2 weeks from Christmas, and it's 88 degrees outside. And I'm just, you know, when I went to Philly, y'all, like, it was super cold that night. I'm talking about cold. Like, I got my scarf game on. I got my jacket on. I got my gloves on. And here in Tampa, I throw on some joggers and a V-neck and be like, man, I'm straight.
Yeah. Yeah, we so envious right now. People so envious of
They
us
are.
right now with this hot weather that we experiencing down here in Florida. And you know, it's if you look at it traditionally in the history, if it's cold on Thanksgiving, man, make sure that it's hot on Christmas so the children can ride their bicycle.
Well, you know, downtown, they got like the 42nd annual Christmas stroll, I believe. It's at the museum downtown. I want to say it's at the museum downtown where they're gonna have a little Christmas parade type of thing that you can go through the museum. So if you got children, you can definitely take them down and have a good time. You probably see some people in some V-necks and some shorts down there. That's what we do in Tampa Bay. You know, but if you know, it's good to see the people get into the Christmas spirits. You know, and it's also good to see you do some acts of kindness during the Christmas holidays. If you ain't did nothing good for the people all year, be thoughtful and giving during Christmas, especially for the homeless population, the people we're talking about that has the housing crisis. You know, if you see these people out in the streets and they asking you for something to eat, go in the store and buy them something to eat. It don't take nothing to buy them a bag of chips and a drink.
Nothing.
Just something to put something on their stomach. And don't worry about, is it going to come back to you? God will bring it back to you, man. Like, do something nice for somebody. You didn't do it for Thanksgiving, you missed them. You could definitely do something for them on Christmas. And you know what? I had put on my LinkedIn post and also on my Facebook post that all the proceeds from my book sales this month, from the 2 books that I published, if I raise enough money, I'm going to buy bicycles and give them out to underprivileged children.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
I already got some people in there asking if they can make a donation as well. But if I get enough money, I already got a place that'll sell me, 10 bikes. And that's my goal, to give out 10 bikes for Christmas. So if it happens, it's for the kids. It's not for me. It's not about, raising money. It's about giving back and making sure people have something. So my goal would like to give 10 bikes to underprivileged children. And I know exactly the place I would do it at. And that's my goal, is, to give some children some joy this Christmas.
Well, if people ain't going to be able to celebrate Christmas because the rent too damn high. And according to the April 2023 rent report, rent in Tampa is 5.04% higher than last year.
That went up?
As defined by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Residents are considered rent burden if they spend more than 30% of their annual income toward rent, and severely rent burden if they spend more than 50%.
Wow.
We have an issue of the rent too high, and this is the report for Tampa. oh look!
Damn,
Wait a minute, that caught me off guard.
That caught me off guard too. What in the world? We need to hear a car crash or something. We don't need to hear that.
But the rent, I like that. So this is how much Tampa residents need to make to afford rent. The studies are showing that Fox 13 News did the study that the April data from the 2 Florida universities studying rental rates show Tampa residents need to be making over $84,000 on an average to afford rent.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's be for real here.
Florida Atlantic University, Florida Gulf Coast University, and the University of Alabama have been studying the rental rates in Tampa, Florida. According to their April 2023, rent in Tampa is 5.04% higher than last year, as defined by HUD. According to FAU and FGCU reports, the average rent in Tampa is $2,118.75, which ranks the 18th highest amount among the nation's largest metropolitan areas, with the average rent number in mind. In the percentage of defining what means to be rent burden, a Tampa resident would need to make $84,750.12 to avoid being rent burden. Metropolitan Ministries here in Tampa is a nonprofit that provides all kinds of assistance, including housing. But let me put a pin in it right there, because now I gotta talk. I gotta play the devil's advocate on this statement, because so many people have run up the government assisted programs and these charity organizations. They've learned how to manipulate them in their favor and not leaving it room for good people that may fall on hard time, that needed somebody that lost their job and just need something to help them get by so they're able to get to the next, gig as far as their employment. Baby, when I tell you, them people done said, hold on, what's your date of birth for your social security number? They done look, let me tell you what they did. All of the organizations have linked themselves together. So if you go over here to Lee Davis and then go to Metropolitan Ministry and then go to Catholic Charities and then go to the churches that's participating, and once they put your name in there and your social security number in there, and they see how much money they done paid over the years for you, they be like, get to the back of the line.
Working against you.
And that's what I talk about all the time. And people think that I'm the mean activist when I say that I'm against welfare. I'm against food stamps. I'm against public housing. Because guess what? Put the American people to work.
I know that's right.
You got $500 billion that you just gave to the Palestinians and Israel to bring peace. And let's tell the truth. America, that heifer started that war. Boom. Checkmate, America. You started that war. America ain't nothing but a dirty heifer.
It's just mind-boggling that you could have a crisis, not just in Hillsborough County, but all over the United States. When I went to Philly, you had people sleeping out on front of the manholes to try to stay warm, and you give money to another country versus putting the money back into our communities.
Yeah. They gave the Palestinian and Israel so much money, they could have gave everybody $1 million comfortably in the United States and pushed the economy.
And we trying
for real. I sat and just did the math.
And we trying to fight for a fourth stimulus check. Yeah. Y'all need to go ahead and drop it. Yeah.
Because guess what? When Drops was on the streets, let us tell the truth. When Drops was on the streets, it actually pissed off the Tampa mayor that she went to Washington, D.C., and did y'all know that it was Mayor Jane Castor who went to Washington, D.C. and lied to the government in Washington, D.C. that she had a huge issue with the crime rate in Tampa? No, because crime had decreased so much. The FBI said in the history of the city of Tampa, Tampa had the lowest crime since like 1957 when Drops was on the street. Because guess what? Crackheads was now the drug dealers. They was the plug. They hadn't came up. Yes, I'm dropping some nuggets for y'all. It was this is all over the internet. You can see it. It was Tampa Mayor Jane Castor who went to Washington, D.C. and created that department that went after people with alleged tips of people doing drops. It was her.
That drops,
And then, wait a minute. I got to tell you this. And then the IRS came and said, and told her and the department heads that she created, if there has been no person who has definitely received more than $2 million, don't arrest them. They were given strict orders by the U.S. federal government. Do not arrest anybody who made money under $2 million. But they was arresting everybody. I got it in writing from my friend who worked for the U.S. Department of Treasury. Because that always sparked me. How you got all of these arrests? They were specifically told from the United States federal government, if a person did $2 million or below, no arrest.
From a legal standpoint,
It was the conspiracy that got him.
from a legal standpoint, that had always been a white collar crime.
Mm-hmm.
People who were doing that was not facing felonies; they were facing arrest and restitution. And then it just got so bad where they changed the law to make it a felony, so that way if you went over a certain financial threshold that you would be held accountable. And the sad thing about it is we still see, and I'm gonna educate you, we still see people today, and Michelle posted all the time, that when you defraud the government and you scam the government or you trying to commit fraud, it's gonna catch up with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. It's not worth to go out there and try to do something illegal, because it's going to catch up with you. These people are smart these days. Stop acting like this the 80s and you could fool somebody with a bad check. You can't even do that no more. Stop, man. Stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth going and losing your family members because you ain't got a quick come up and now you facing criminal charges to go to prison. The Bureau Institute of Justice just released another statistic. I'm big on statistics. I get hot off the press. 1 in 3 Americans will be arrested in their life or convicted of a crime. 1 in 3. We ain't saying black no more. They said 1 in 3 will be arrested.
Wow.
So we go to a room, a random in the mall, you can look at every 3 people. They've either been arrested or they have been convicted of a crime. That's how bad it is. They got more people incarcerated now than in the slavery time. There were 2.2 million people that's currently incarcerated in the United States right now. That is more than a 300-year period when they were bringing slaves over from Africa. This is facts. You go Google it. You could go look it up. It's statistical facts. Please, one thing we need to do for our city is we need to stop crime. We need to be a good place where we get back to it's a lot of love in here. Are there going to be some people who do some crazy things? Yeah, but to a mass shooting place, we're not educating. We're not spending enough money for our children. Back in the day, there was parks and recreations. So you can go out there, you get that free lunch. You pick your kid up at 6 o'clock and when mama get off work. And we had all types of avenues to push children to do things after school. It's not like that no more. Your kids get out of school, you got to call them and figure out what they going to do because they don't have nothing. They don't have no outlet. And I read an article, too, just to let you know, countries like China and Japan, guess what they doing for their children? When their children go to school, they go to school a lot longer than our children.
Yeah,
but more importantly, every child is required to do something technology driven in their education. So our education, and just think about it from a systematic standpoint. Our children are birthed, get a certain age to go to school. It's an institution. We want you to go to college. It's an institution. If you do wrong, you go into an institution. There need to be more things that we take the kid for outreach so they can understand life and social skills. We are losing the value of children having social skills because the phone has replaced the common talk of me and you.
Yeah, that's true.
I tried to explain to somebody when I was growing up and you seen a fine girl, I had to damn near swerve in front of you to get you to swerve off the road or ask you to pull over to the gas station so I could talk to you. I had to wear my best outfit to the mall and catch the bus. And
Saturdays at the mall
and come back with 2 numbers in my pocket. One don't work. You know what I'm saying? I've been tricked. That's how we used to have to talk to people.
Yeah.
But now we don't even have to go to the same high school, and I can post a picture and they get around, and now man, we talking, and now we meeting up. So we're losing the social value of life. It's disseminating where 10 years from now we might not even talk. We might just text you. Or we might AI you. You can try to figure out what we need to say to correct this situation. But I'm saying is we need to give the children something meaningful to do. We need to push them to where they're technology driven because there's no way that you can give a child a phone and he figure out how to delete, add, put a social media account, do all these things to his phone. Why not gift them with a computer for Christmas or give them some type of technology driven thing so they can create websites or they can create things for a job or they can learn in advance in the technology world. Because it ain't no more days where you go down there and fill out a job application. You got to do it all online.
That's true.
So if your parents really want to know about parenting skills, understand that your child's already smart. They figure things out. You can buy a child right now for Christmas a PS5 PlayStation that just came out 2-3 months ago for $700. And you can just give it to them. They'll know how to get it hooked up on the TV. They'll know how to play the game. They'll know how to get to the third. They'll know how to get to the third level. They'll know how to get your credit card and buy online stuff and all this. And you don't understand how they did it because their mind is wired to figure things out. gift them with some technology, and then maybe 10 years from now, they running their own successful business where they can take care of you.
A lot of parents don't think that way, because a lot of parents, again, they doing everything. They stunting for the city. They putting on for the city. They putting on for the gram. They putting on for the book, and they putting on for TikTok. Everybody want to be social media driven, and everybody want to be social media famous until that fame hits you, and then you don't know what to do with it.
That fame need to hit me.
But
That fame, that social media fame, if I tell you right now,
Walk
live on
around.
In Touch News, December 8th or whatever day it is,
The 9th.
the 9th, you know what I'm saying? I be working so much, don't know the days. If the fame hit me, I promise to you, the number one thing that I would do is I would work hard to change the justice system. And I got the game plan. They say I look like Cory Booker. That's what they say. They say I get in my shirt and tie, I look like Cory Booker.
You do.
I'm saying though, if I had the money, I would force people's hand where they couldn't shut me up.
Let me tell you something. Back in 2000, I'll never forget this conversation. I was just leaving Buddy Brew's Coffee House in Tampa. That was the social event.
Okay.
Everybody went to Buddy Brew.
That was the tea and conversation?
That was the upscale. That was the creme brulee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Creme brulee.
Yeah, that was the creme brulee conversation of the city. And they, I'm not sure if they still are located downtown on Kennedy, but back in the day, but it was a white gentleman that I had met there. You know what that man told me, that it still sticks to me to this day in 2023. That man said, Michelle Williams, you have the sharpest mind that I've ever seen. He said, you quick to listen. And he says, I notice you're slow to speak. And my grandfather taught me that. Be quick to listen and slow to speak. He says, but let me tell you something. He says, the government is always going to have its foot on your neck because they know you the next activist that's going to break the mold for everybody. And he said the government going to do everything in their power to trip you up. And Walter, when I tell you that man did not let me down or lie, because that's exactly, it's come from our own black elders in this town, because everybody want to play checkers. I don't know. I'm not trying to be queen. I'm not trying to be nobody's queen. I'm a leader. I play chess. I taught myself how to play chess at 9 years old. You know that?
I'm real
9
good at
years
it too now.
old.
I'm real good at it too now.
9 years old, taught myself how to play chess. Oh, we what I'm saying?
Get the board out. Get the board
got
out.
to have a match or two up in here.
But I mean, cut you off. When you can suppress people,
Yeah.
when you can, when a person doesn't have the financial backing to battle you, you see it in the courtroom, you see it in the political circuit, you see it in different avenues, you see it in national campaigns. When a person does not have the financial backing, it's hard for them to win the game because the money will put you in a corner where you can't compete with that. But if you give me an open playing field, a platform or the money, either one, give me the platform, give me a big platform, or give me the money, I will be able to expose some things that need to be correct, but also gift you with the solution on how to correct it. See, society, majority, and I speak hard from the criminal justice system for what I've been through, but society likes to keep that bondage going because it's a $7 billion financial revenue for the Department of Corrections here in Florida. $7 billion. $7 billion. We ain't talking about millions or thousands. We're talking about billions of dollars every year because they want to keep people going in that cycle. There's over 88,000 inmates right now in the Department of Corrections currently serving time. There's another 200 that's out on probation or community control. That's nearly 300,000 people in the state of Florida that's under the Department of Corrections. It is a $1 billion industry cycle. But if you gave me the platform or you gave me the money, I could expose a lot of things and help bring that number down to free our people.
But that's the thing.
And here, let me say one last thing. You could put an inmate in prison.
Right.
Okay. 99% of the people that's in prison don't have a job in Florida. You don't make no money. So you hear about them people working in different states and they be giving money. Florida, you can go to prison. They go give you a job and you can make no money in prison except for 1% of the population. That's when they work for like pride industries or they got a good job such as like staff canteen or something like that. So only 1% of the population makes money. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now when you incarcerate the people, you give them no opportunity to work for their future or for future release. So what does that look like when they get out? If I've been incarcerated for 10
right,
years and I
right.
didn't make no money while I was incarcerated, guess what's happening? I'm getting out broke.
Mm-hmm.
So now my hurdle to be successful is that much further away from me. But I would change all that, because when you hire the people for private industries to work and make money in prison, why can't they get more private industry jobs out here so that way the recidivism rate goes down?
People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that truth. And back to the thought of the gentleman speaking to me, he says, as long as they can keep you broke, Michelle Williams, they're winning. And everything that I've tried to do, fundraisers, raising money, everything, the government has been watching my Facebook page since 2008. Since 2008. And it was police officers who are now retired from the Tampa Police Department and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, who they couldn't tell me this information when they were there, but they made sure when they got comfortable and all their retirement money hadn't hit their bank account, then they exposed that they had banker boxes full of situation. Like everything that I've ever posted on social media page, every comment that I've ever made on it, is they have this. They have this. See, because
what they said about those city girl pictures that you posted.
they were trying to build a case of a net against me. And people have to understand, God got the scissors. God got the concrete. He gonna fill the holes that you dug for me. He gonna cut the net that you cast for me. And people don't understand that. So when they seen that they couldn't do it, they start putting the spooks at the door on me. They start putting the spooks at. See, people didn't understand that I was a field Negro because I was light skinned and pretty. And just like, what you doing out here? Why you want to do this? You educated, Michelle. You got all these degrees. Now you a doctor and you still out here crying about poor people, housing, when you should be up here with us. They literally had a conversation with me about that. Why do I choose to fight for poor people when I got everything? I said, well, what is everything? You got the education. You speak eclectic. You know how to speak eloquently. You dress sharp as I don't know what. You know how to speak when you're in front of government officials. Why are you out here doing this? Well, if my people don't see me fighting,
who will?
Who will?
Thanks.
I don't want my grandchildren to have the same fight that I'm fighting 30 years from now. They shouldn't have to. I got 6 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. I got 7 grandchildren. Every last one of them. I talk to God about every last one of them every single day. Every single day, I'm praying over my God children and I'm praying over my grandchildren. Because it's children that don't even belong to me, bloodline, that parents come and stop by that was the best move I could have made, was moving back in East Tampa. That was the best move for me to be back in the city among my people. Soon as they seen that car parked outside that house, boy, people went to stop it. I'm at the mailbox working in the yard, people went to stop it. Miss Michelle. And so, now.
Well, let me
go ahead.
I'm going to ask you this before we get close on time. What 2024 look like? Let the people know. What's on the horizon for 2024? We got to get the list out. What's going on?
Let me tell you something, Walt. We have to do this. We have to do this. From Grass to Grace is now an authorized ballot collector for the supervisor of elections office. We got to get our people registered to vote. We got to get our people registered to vote. And people need to stop worrying about the national election. We need to worry about the local elections. That's where the laws are implemented. That's what we got to start doing. People have to start voting locally. People don't want to vote locally. They only want to vote
for president.
For the president. And we can't do that. We got to stop doing that. But again, our people perish from lack of knowledge. And it says it in the Bible. It's been throughout the history. King said it, X said it, Ever said it, Rosa said it. You know what I'm saying? All these great leaders said we will perish from lack of knowledge because we don't want nothing. I had a girl. It was so devastating to me. My daughter and I were at the Walmart on 15th and Hillsborough. And my daughter said, oh, Ma, look, they got a Martin Luther King shirt. Let me go ahead and give it to you, Rosa Parks, because my daughter called me Rosa Parks all the time, right? She said, let me go ahead and give it to you, Rosa Parks, right? So, we just sitting. So my grandson, he was just like, Grandma, remember when I played Dr. King in the play at school? I was just like, yeah, he did so well. And so the lady, the young girl, she was just like, who is that? She had to be like 18, 19 years old and said, who is that? The hairs on the back of my neck kind of stood up a little bit, and I was finna, do something, but the Spirit said, don't do it. Talk to her. Let her know. She don't know. Our children don't even know their history. You know why? Because they want to believe in TikTok. I'm looking at the little white girl. She couldn't even name who the president was. She thought that Trump was still the president. Our kids don't. Social media has
destroyed.
Social media has dumbed our community down. Social media has dumbed our community down. Social media has dumbed our community down. Everybody want to believe what's going on TikTok. That's why the U.S. government fight TikTok right now, because TikTok report the news faster than the government reported. And that's what they said when they was in the session. They want to ban TikTok from the U.S. because TikTok report the news of the U.S. faster than they can get out and tell a lie about it.
Well, listen, for 2024, there's some things that we definitely want to go after. We also want to thank all our support and encouragement that we've received so far from doing this show. It's a beautiful thing to be able to receive text messages or likes on our social media as well, for the good work that we're doing. But trust and believe, the next couple of weeks, we're working hard to get good people in this studio so we can interview them. You could get to know them. We got some good people that we definitely targeting and going after. So that way, when you tune in, you can see real people that affect our community. So just know that we're working behind the scenes on trying to do these things, and we want to put out the best information possible for our community. One thing that she just said that was so profound is we perish from a lack of education. So we need to be bringing people in here that you can get good information from, that you see all over our city, or they do something in our community, or they affect our community somehow maybe from a financial standpoint, an educational standpoint, a health standpoint. We've brought all types of people this year on the show, and we're going to continue to try to work hard to give you the best. So that's something that we definitely going after. All the people who are on Michelle Facebook, y'all need to join my Facebook. Y'all need to join my social media, so that way when y'all repost, I can get my information out there. It's about getting us a bigger platform. Michelle and I make it no secret. We don't want to just stay at In Touch News. We want to move on to bigger and better things in 24. We want to be in front of the camera. We want to be in front of things that we could really go after to be successful. Because the bigger the platform we get, the more attention that we could bring for y'all. We do this for y'all. We speak up for y'all because we know there's some family members out there that's hurting for the housing crisis. We know there's some family members that's hurting because they got some loved ones incarcerated. Mm-hmm. We speak up for the people who ain't making it, financially, and you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, and you hungry at night, but you still trying to do your best for Christmas. We speak up for all y'all. So the bigger that we get, the bigger that we all get, because we want to take y'all with us.
That's right. Y'all are the salt that holds.
Believe that.
Us together. So and people have to understand that, like my granddaddy always taught me, one hand wash the other, but both hands wash the face. So and that's where we are, what I'm saying, with our radio program, Stay Woke, and that's what we are. We washing each other's hands, and then we all gonna wash the face together. So, and that's what we have. But 2024, like Walt said, is important for us, and we got to make sure that we have the right information that is put out by the right people who want to make sure and ensure that our communities, that we are progressively moving forth in the Black race. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another great episode of Stay Woke with Dr. Michelle Williams and Walter Dunn, honey.
Y'all stay woke.
Stay woke. Listen up. That's the jam right there.
It is. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You really did that.
Made me feel like I'm a hit star right there.